I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. The power of education extends beyond the development of skills we need for economic success. It can contribute to nation building and reconciliation. A good head and good heart are always a formidable combination. But when you add to that a literate tongue or pen, then you have something very special. Young people must take it upon themselves to ensure that they receive the highest education possible so that they can represent us well in future as future leaders. Without language, one cannot talk to people and understand them, one cannot share their hopes and aspirations, grasp their history, appreciate their poetry, or savor their songs. No country can really develop unless its citizens are educated. Education is the great engine of personal development. It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that the son of a mine worker can become the head of the mine, that a child of farm workers can become the president of a great nation. It is what we make out of what we have, not what we are given, that separates one person from another. It is not beyond our power to create a world in which all children have access to a good education. Those who do not believe this have small imaginations. Real leaders must be ready to sacrifice all for the freedom of their people. A fundamental concern for others in our individual and community lives would go a long way in making the world a better place we so passionately dreamt of. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid. Everyone can rise above their circumstances and achieve success if they are dedicated to and passionate about what they do. I like friends who have independent minds because they tend to make you see problems from all angles. It always seems impossible until it's done. Many people in this country have paid the price before me and many will pay the price after me. Do not judge me by my successes, judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. Money won't create success, the freedom to make it will. It is in the character of growth that we should learn from both pleasant and unpleasant experiences. It is not our diversity which divides us, it is not our ethnicity, or religion or culture that divides us. Since we have achieved our freedom, there can only be one division amongst us, between those who cherish democracy and those who do not. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. A critical, independent and investigative press is the lifeblood of any democracy. The press must be free from state interference. It must have the economic strength to stand up to the blandishments of government officials. It must have sufficient independence from vested interests to be bold and inquiring without fear or favor. It must enjoy the protection of the Constitution, so that it can protect our rights as citizens. Lead from the back and let others believe they are in front. I am not a saint, unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. As I have said, the first thing is to be honest with yourself. You can never have an impact on society if you have not changed yourself. It is said that no one truly knows a nation until one has been inside its jails. Live life as though nobody is watching, and express yourself as though everyone is listening. I had no epiphany, no singular revelation, no moment of truth, but a steady accumulation of 1,000 slights, 1,000 indignities and 1,000 unremembered moments produced in me an anger, a rebelliousness, a desire to fight the system that imprisoned my people. There was no particular day on which I said, henceforth I will devote myself to the liberation of my people. Instead, I simply found myself doing so, and could not do otherwise. I hate race discrimination most intensely and in all its manifestations. I have fought it all during my life, I fight it now and will do so until the end of my days. Sometimes it falls upon a generation to be great. You can be that generation. We must use time creatively, and forever realize that the time is always ripe to do right. There is a universal respect and even admiration for those who are humble and simple by nature, and who have absolute confidence in all human beings irrespective of their social status. I have never cared very much for personal prizes. A person does not become a freedom fighter in the hope of winning awards. I learned that to humiliate another person is to make him suffer an unnecessarily cruel fate. Even as a boy, I defeated my opponents without dishonoring them. Although I am a gregarious person, I love solitude even more. Overcoming poverty is not a task of charity, it is an act of justice. Like slavery and apartheid, poverty is not natural. It is man-made and it can be overcome and eradicated by the actions of human beings. It is not our diversity which divides us, it is not our ethnicity or religion or culture that divides us. Since we have achieved our freedom, there can only be one division amongst us, between those who cherish democracy and those who do not. A nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizens, but its lowest ones. I am the captain of my soul. Appearances matter and remember to smile. After climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. Nothing is black or white. Great peacemakers are all people of integrity, of honesty, but humility. Freedom is indivisible. The chains on any one of my people were the chains on all of them, the chains on all of my people were the chains on me. There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. When the water starts boiling, it is foolish to turn off the heat. It is not where you start but how high you aim that matters for success. Success in politics demands that you must take your people into confidence about your views and state them very clearly, very politely, very calmly, but nevertheless, state them openly. When a man is denied the right to live the life he believes in, he has no choice but to become an outlaw. Without language, one cannot talk to people and understand them, one cannot share their hopes and aspirations, grasp their history, appreciate their poetry, or savor their songs. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. The brave man is not the one who has no fears. He is the one who triumphs over his fears. Men have different capacities and react differently to stress. But the stronger ones raised up the weaker ones, and both became stronger in the process. Real leaders must be ready to sacrifice all for the freedom of their people.